Okay folks, it's coming up to 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. It's a lovely sunny day, fairly clear skies. As you can see, the camp here doesn't really have anything in the way of shade. Tina's just sneaking off under a bush over here for some shade, but what we do on days like this is go for a walk up to the park where we can put a picnic blanket down and lay down in the shade. Stay out of the worst of the afternoon heat. So that's what we're going to do this afternoon. But first, just a quick update on the ginger wine. Nothing much. I mean, it's the first day. Nothing much is going to happen. But my my yeast suspension, obviously it was down here or so yesterday after we finished. Overnight, that was bubbling and fizzing away, and the plastic bottle was crackling away. So I've added some extra water and a spoon of sugar and shaken it up. Get some air in there so that the yeast colony can can reproduce, make more yeast, not just make alcohol. You can see the I say what's that, 5 to 1. I said it was coming up on 1 o'clock. 38.9 degrees inside the bedroom of the tent here. Not great, a bit too warm for me to be in here. But under here we've got the here's our ginger. So far, no real sign of life in there. But the cap's loose, so any carbon dioxide will just be off gassing and coming out. We're not building up pressure in there, but there's no sign of any foam or anything in there. Hopefully the yeast is alive in there and is multiplying and is getting ready to do its thing, and we'll just leave that under there in I guess it is in the darkness, in the shade, in a nice warm temperature, not too warm. Should be nice and comfortable for the yeast, I think. Well, yeah, obviously from the look of the yeast suspension, the yeast colony that I keep here. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to pack a few drinks now and probably this picnic blanket and take her ladyship up to the park for an afternoon in the shade. Bye for now. Okay folks, here we are just arriving at the park. It's lovely and sunny, but as you can see, they water the field quite frequently, sprinkler system using reclaimed water, and obviously we've had a lot of rain recently as well, and plenty of shade to be had under the trees. Come on Tina girl, Tina doing a wee wee. You pick your moments girl, don't you? You pick your moments. Okay, we'll just make our way up to our usual spot. If Tina will allow me, she'll probably try and stop at every tree on the way. Dogs, what can you say? Oh. Here we go. Now, up to the corner where we lived for 2 months. When we were first made homeless. Used to have my things piled under a tree up here through the day. All the branches had hung down and created a little, I haven't got the vocabulary. You know, when 3 or 4 trees have long branches hanging down and you get the hollow underneath and nobody can see in. Kind of a secluded little spot. And that's what we had just a little further up here. this shade here. And what happened was, 2 months I lived here. I'd pile my things under this tree here every morning, take off for the day, come back in the afternoon or the evening, get my things and camp out in the park. And then one day I came back and they'd cut all the branches right back, pruned everything right back, and my things were still in place, still exactly where they were. Fair play, they left everything, but I had to battle for half an hour just to get to them because they just left all the branches there. That was my signal it was time to go. So I, over the course of that afternoon and evening, I made 5 trips backwards and forwards, the camp where I am now and here, fetching and carrying my bags and water and everything. Yeah, I moved, and that was the night. As soon as I'd put everything down and at the new place, and I went for just a little walk to rest and relax and think through the day's events, that's when we had a thunderstorm and I got flooded out the first time. So that was fun. But it's always fun to come back here and think, this 2 months my things were there in a pile, piled up, multiple piles under the tree, tidily, but and the only time they ever got interfered with, a dog got in and ran away with a mortadella, you know, a chopped and shaped sausage meat thing. The only time I had any problem. Things just left there, nobody touched them. Some people would walk through under the trees there and see the stuff, but nobody ever bothered. This was where we slept, on the floor between this tree and this. Things were a little bit more spacious back then. And this is the area where through the day, on an afternoon back then and now, we come and we seek out some shade. If I lie on the edge of the shadow and put the solar panel down, charge the phone, stay in the shade, we get the benefits of the sun, and as the sun moves around and I end up in the sun again, just move the picnic blanket a little further in and stay shaded. What do you say to that, Tina? It's like we're home again. Okay folks, that's it for now. Delta Mike out. Okay folks, we're all set up, solar panels out, picnic blankets laid out, blanket for my head, reading material and drinks, refreshments for me and the dog. And there's doggy on the blanket. Well, there you go, leaving the blanket. One day I'll do a product review of this blanket because it's been so useful. I've got a couple, one with a blue one with a different pattern on, but they've just been so useful through my experiences. They're from Mountain Warehouse, and I got some negative comments about them, but on the whole they've been fantastic and they've been really useful. Waterproof layer on the underside. They've been useful during the rains and things that we've had, and the cold winter nights with condensation, mist, fog, etc. But like I said, I'll do a separate product review of those another day. For now, we're just going to kick back and enjoy the shade. It's actually quite cool under here. By the time the sun comes around, I'll be a little bit cold. I'll be ready for the sun coming through. So for now, Delta Mike out. Right, we've been here a little while now. I'm not sure how long, but obviously the sun has moved around, and I'm now in the heat and uncomfortably so. So it's time to move the picnic blanket a metre or so, a metre or two this way, back into the shade. While while herself sits and relaxes. I'll have another hour or two in the sun and then it'll be time to make a move for home. Delta Mike out. Okay folks, it's coming up on 5 o'clock. We're packed up and me and herself here, we're ready to head back to camp. It's been a lovely afternoon, had a good read, but it's time to head back. There's a Tina hiding under a bush in her favourite little spot. We just got back in camp and I see that while I've been out I've had a visit from Damien. More water, a picture frame. I think that's for the glass. I'll discuss that in a moment. And a couple of bags. I just brought them over here so I could sit down on the edge of the mattress and have a look at what goodies he's brought. We'll start with the goodies. 4 cans of Murphy's and a can of Guinness. I think I've counted right. So that's good. I'll have to put those in my fridge in a minute. In the wet towel under the table. And a few other bits. Well, oh Christ. Okay. More alcohol. If I'm reading that right, 6.6% by volume. That's got a kick. And here we've got what do we got? Lentils, is it? Yeah, lentils. What are those? Chickpeas? Are those chickpeas? No, olives. Looks like chickpeas and olives, but I'm not sure. Oh, and is that pepper? Some sort of healthy salad, it says there. I don't know if my hand's pointing yet. My camera work's not the greatest. That's lentils. That's garbanzos, chickpeas to you and me. A la Riojana. And some sort of red sauce, I guess that is. T-shirt. Wow. Another t-shirt. God, this guy spoils me to hell. And let's see. Oh, another garbanzos and a tin of tomatoes. So we've got food, drink and clothing, and water. I guess that's a drink as well. But the sweet corn, maize dulce. The sheet of glass, that, if I'm understanding him, I'm guessing, but I've got a project in mind to make a solar oven. Basically, I've got a, I'll probably show you. I could have been more organised about it and got things ready in advance, but you know, hey ho. So I picked this cooler box up at some point from a bin. Polystyrene insulated box, and what I'm figuring to do is to from one side or another, I'm not sure which, probably from here, cut down on the diagonal, or maybe from the back to the front, down on the diagonal, across, back, and have a sheet of glass there as the top. So heat comes in, you get the greenhouse effect. Heat comes in, but then it's all insulated, the heat doesn't come back out again. You basically build an oven out of the, I line the polystyrene with tin foil, cut the top to shape, fit the glass, and then we should have an oven. So like the pizza I tried to make, the pizza I made yesterday that took hours, could be done in a fraction of the time, because those things can get proper hot. There's my girl again. So that's a project probably for later this week, tomorrow or the day after. Oh, the day after is going to be raining. So if not tomorrow, then it's going to be a Thursday, Friday job. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But Damien, mate, thank you so much. So much. Let me get the beer in the cooler, and and then I can enjoy a couple of beers tonight. Thank you, mate, and everybody else. There's Tina again. Bye from Delta Mike. I think somebody followed me home from the park. Sorry guys, high magnification. Every little wobble or tremor I make is magnified, like the image itself. Where are we? I can't see the magnification. 9.9, I think it's about as high as we go. There they are. I took a couple of photos in the park earlier, and then we've got these guys here now. They're following me. Alright, that's it for now. Okay folks, this one, how many times do I say okay folks in a day? I don't know. It's definitely my catchphrase. You can see the time there, you can see the temperature inside the tent. This one's a quick follow-up to a shot I took this morning when I looked at the ginger concoction that I'm making, the beer stroke wine, whatever the hell that is, the alcoholic ginger drink, and I pointed at the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I gone blank. Hold on, that's the Alzheimer's kicking in already, isn't it? That's the Alzheimer's. That's the yeast suspension, the yeast concoction. Those are the words I'm looking for. I get there in the end. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than that. I was on the verge of cutting this video there. So the yeast suspension, and I showed you, and I told you that there'd been activity and that it was kind of bubbling on top, but then I'd added extra water and a spoon of sugar. And when I left it, I don't think this was on camera, but I kind of half crushed the bottle and put the cap on with the bottle depressed, with the bottle indented, so there'd be room for expansion and off-gassing of carbon dioxide. And what I notice now, it's before I just dropped it and shook it up, is that the bottle is fully pushed out, and I just wanted to get this on camera in case, because I took the lid off this once previously and the lid shot out, so I just wanted to and this, remember, this was yesterday. This was an almost dead bottle. I had to do work to bring this back, and then today I've added water and a spoon of sugar just to kick it into gear, you know, just so that the yeast colony can multiply and I don't have to, because this is a mistake people make with yeast. You buy a pack of yeast, a box, and it comes with 6 or 10 sachets, 6 little packs of yeast, and people put the whole pack in things, and then, you know, the next time they want some yeast, they use the next pack and the next pack, and it's like, hold on, you can just make a colony of yeast. You can just have it sat there from the first pack. So I've still got, I don't know how many were in the pack, but whatever X was, whatever the number of packets were, I've got X minus 1 pack still waiting to be used, and I'll get to use this multiple times until I do something really wrong and the colony dies. So if I leave it too long, or expose it to too much ultraviolet, or as now, let too much carbon dioxide build up, these are things that could jeopardize the colony. But I'm just going to take this lid off. Okay, just a good fizz. It didn't rock it off. The last time I had it like that, Look at it effervescing, look at the bubbling. Let me try and push the bottle back out. So push carbon dioxide out, get oxygen back in, or air with oxygen back in. I can smell the yeastiness from here. Obviously you've got that fizzing going on. So we want to push the carbon dioxide out of the bottle, get some oxygen in. I'll put the lid back on, and you can see the bottle's deformed, and I'll push it with my feet a little bit as well, just to so we've got room for off-gassing. Unfortunately, this lid, I can't leave this one loose, which would be the ideal, and just let the off-gassing. I've got a dog running around, and there's me, and we haven't got much space. It's a little bottle. If I left the lid loose, this would get knocked over and spill everywhere. So that's not going to work. So this is us. Just look at this though. It's coming up for 6:10 in the evening, and it's 40.6 degrees inside the tent. It's like a sweatbox in here. It's like a sauna. I just taken my shirt off outside because it was too warm outside, and then I've stepped in here, and it's crazy hot in here. Look at this. Look at herself in the doorway, in my way. Come on, babe, let me out. Let me out. Okay, guys, that was just a quick update on the yeast front. Bye for now. Delta Mike down and out in Torrevieja with a quick update. What's this, about 3/4 of an hour after the last one? I don't remember the exact time before, but there or thereabouts. And I just had I was kind of curious, and I remembered that I'd not been here and shaken. You know, yesterday I shook the bottles to make sure that we got some air into get some oxygen into the liquid, and I'd said before that there was no signs of any reaction. I thought maybe the yeast was multiplying and wasn't doing the alcohol thing yet. I'm just looking to see whether I can find my stand for my phone. Do you think maybe I should learn to be a little bit more organised? Maybe one day. Well, let's see if I can kind of reproduce the demonstration that I just did for myself a little while ago, a couple of minutes ago. Give me a second. Tina, shush. I'm gonna screw the cap on. Tina, shush. Give it a good shake. Get the air in. You see the bubbles? Tina, that's enough. I'm talking to the people. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear the fizz? Can you see the bubbles? I'm going to have to go and sort the dog out. Excuse me. I'm back. I managed to shut the beast up. Somebody walked past on the road with a dog, and she... it's the same, the people walk past, the same people walk past every day, and she overreacts every time. It's really quite annoying. But that's my Tina girl. I love her, and sometimes I fucking hate her. But excuse the French. Just gonna give the other bottle a go. Tighten the lid. Give it a shake. I'm trying to do two things. I want to get the oxygen from in the head space here, from in the top of the bottle, and get that air and oxygen into the mix. But I also want to get out any... Oh, my hand in the way. Professional YouTuber. Not. I want to force out any carbon dioxide out of the leak. Now I can hear that fizz. I don't know how well that. I guess you're left a little bit because I'd already opened it the once when I discovered this, when I shook it up and saw how much it was bubbling. I didn't think to do it on camera the first time. I was just doing a chore, a task, just shaking it up. But I was surprised at the bubbling. There's, if you look now, I've just seen some bubbling still going on at the back there. There are bubbles still rising and popping. So I'm going to try and leave the lid screwed on but loose. This one there you go, look. It's on but loose. That should, any gas that actually comes out of the liquid rather than sitting in the liquid, should let the gas out. So things are happening already. It's 24 hours or so since I boiled the water and the sugar and added the ginger and bottled it, added the yeast. 24 hours, and to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that the reaction's happening already in containers this large. I thought it might have taken longer, but then given what's happening with the yeast suspension, maybe not so surprised. I don't know. It kind of makes sense. I was just thinking it might be 2 or 3 days before anything noticeable kind of kicked in and happened. But I'm pleasantly surprised. It's funny that it's just 1 hour after I did, or less than an hour after I did the last update. But yeah, you know, such is life. Let me cover these over, keep them insulated, try and keep the warmth in, because the temperature is going to drop overnight. Obviously, I think last night was down to 19, maybe 20 degrees inside here, but the weather forecast says it was, or the data in the weather app says it was 19 degrees last night. But it'll fall. It was 44 in here whenever that was. Was that an hour or so ago? And now it's falling. It's not going to fall too far, but the blanket will keep the light away and insulate it, keep a bit of heat in. And now that the reaction's started, we'll see how it goes. Okay, folks. Tina says sorry for the interruption, don't you, babe? Tina says sorry. Delta Mike out. Okay, guys. Wow, I look a little bit flush there. Is that just the colour? Is that just the colour gamut on the camera? Itchy nose. Sorry. Right. It's. Oh. Sorry, I was using the front-facing camera. It's 2043. It's 29 point. Is that 0.5? I got the glasses on. I got my reading glasses on, but they're for reading here, not for reading over there. Itchy nose still. So 8:45 or thereabouts. Where do I look? Over here is probably better. How do I get myself in the centre of the screen? Ah, there. That's me. Hello. Tina's just gone outside and now I'm hearing things moving around. There's probably going to be trouble. It's been a day. It's been a day. It's another one of those ones. Let me go a little bit further out so that I'm fully in the screen with my beetroot face, apparently beetroot face. Where do I begin? My plans for tonight for food. So far today, food-wise, haven't had much. I had a bunch of dry bread, kind of cracker bread things with chocolate spread. And when they ran out, I had, I don't know, 3 or 4 bread buns cut in half with chocolate spread. Probably if I was to total that all up, I could probably make a case for 800 or 900 calories. So I need to pack away some more food. My friend, well, I need to pack away some more calories. My friend Damien has helped. He uh, he provided various beers. Murphy's Stout, a can of Guinness, and this stuff which I've never heard of. Gyles tostada, toasted Gyles. But the good part about this stuff is I do have to look there. Can you? How well does that come up on camera? Is that flipped or is that just me? I'm not sure. When I read that, that's a 6.6% by volume. And I've had one already. I just went out. Now my phone's been. I was helped today because last night, God, I get into bed and I just fall asleep. So I set a video processing last night. I'm not happy with yesterday's videos. I filmed them as a kind of a day in the life of, so they all ran one into another. And then I kind of had this genius idea of separating out a couple of blocks as standalone videos. And what that did was it gutted the overall day in the life of video. It was left kind of inert. It was left bland. I didn't release it. I didn't do it. It didn't have anything. And even worse than that, the standalone videos I did kind of looked like they were extracted out of something else. Yeah. I was trying to avoid having to do like the 1 or 2 gigabyte upload of a 1 hour video. Or I'm new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Technology-wise, I can press buttons on the phone. I can work out, I can work out the technology. Filmmaking, storytelling, which is what this should be seen as. That's maybe not my bag. It's maybe not, or at least not yet. I need to learn to plan out beforehand what the story is for the day, or what the story is for the video. I haven't got that. I haven't got there yet. Sorry. I'm new at this. I'm a tramp. A couple of months ago, I was in the Stone Age. I literally didn't know what time of day it was. I had to look up in the sky and gauge from the position of the sun what time of day it was. Then go for a 15-minute walk to the nearest pharmacy. 10-minute walk to the nearest pharmacy. To see how close I was with my guess. When I found a clock in the bin and brought it home and had to retrofit a AAA battery to try and make it for a AA battery slot by adding 3 1-cent coins. And it worked for an hour or two and then it popped out and fell on the floor. That was me. Where are we? I don't know when that was. That might have been January or February. And I got some lights out of a bin, some solar powered lights that allowed me to. I got 3 lights. If I could sit 2 of them on my chest at night, they glow so dim. But it was enough that I could hold a book and just about read the book or the newspaper or whatever, or a quiz book. Transformed my life. I'd spent, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months literally in the Stone Age. So all this like I've said before, I'm inherently, I'm good with computers. I'm good with technology. It really is my bag. If you give me a phone and the right app, I can fathom how to make. Let's keep it suitable for work. I can keep it. Um, God, I just blanked. With the right tech, give me the technology in the app. I can make stuff happen. I can do stuff. The underlying knowledge about what it is I'm trying to make it do and whether I should make it do it, that's where the question is. It's a challenge. So sometimes I've released hour long, what are in playtime 1 hour long videos on YouTube that took me all day to record and that took me 2 hours to edit and put together, and that then get 17, 20, 25 or 30 views over a week or two. Is that worth it? Worth the effort? I hope so, because I hope that in time I can point people back, because some of them are quite good. I quite like some of them. I quite like the story they tell. I will point out forever the one that starts with the word wow. I don't remember the exact title. Wow, what a day that was, or what an active day that was. Um, that video for me had everything. Had everything. I got up. I poked my head out of the tent. I walked the dog. I went and got water. I talked about the difficulties I have with water. I talked about how the land here floods. We went and we looked. I talked about historically how it has flooded, and I've been literally knee deep in water for 2 or 3 hours waiting for it to subside. And as it got down to ankle deep, it flooded again, back to ankle deep. That was a day. Everything I had, everything was underwater. Phone, Kindle, Kindle Fire tablet, pen drives, cables, USB light, solar panel. Almost the only thing that actually bloody survived. I don't know how it survived, but maybe there's just something about a solar panel that is self-contained or simple. Water didn't really matter to it. Don't know. But the video covered all of that, and then everything else through the day. The walk to get water, the description of where the water goes when it doesn't do what the authorities think it's going to do. I'm not claiming that it's like a editorially or cinematically it's a fantastic video. It's made by a fucking tramp. Get over yourself. What were you expecting? But I like the story of my day that it tells. And I think that's one of the better performing ones. It started slowly, and in the first 2, 3, 4 days, it had like 40, 50, 60 viewers. But it's carried on growing, and it's at 300 and something. I don't know. Slowed now because YouTube favours the new and the fresh, allegedly. That's why yesterday's videos are stuck on 16 or 17. Don't know, but anyway, I don't know. Coming back to today, it's been a good day. I've got thoughts on what I want to do today. You remember the failed the baked potato experiment from not yesterday, day before yesterday? Well, those potatoes have sat undercover in a metal box out there for two days. Tonight we're going to look at them and see how they haven't really moved on, and then we're going to fix it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my plans for the solar oven, and maybe I'm not going to show you someone else's. I could sit here and I could kind of show you clips from other people's videos about a solar oven, and that technically would be allowed as long as I react and interject and butt in with my thoughts, and I'm not going to do that. I might give you some links to watch those videos. So if you're interested in what a solar oven is, basically think of a box, and it can be as simple as a cardboard box lined with tin foil with the top cut off and a sheet of glass over the top, and then tilted to point towards the sun. Sun comes in through the glass heats the air and everything inside the box. That heat stays in. The glass and the box, maybe lined with tin foil or whatever, holds the heat inside, and over an hour or five, the inside of the box gets hot, and whatever's in there gets hot and cooks. Like my plastic, like the plastic container the pizza was in yesterday. If you watched that video, so uh, well that's an aside. That's part of what I'm planning for tonight. I need to actually cook. I need to cook the food I'm going to eat tonight. Which my plan is, I got some. Do you remember I cooked what did I cook the other day with bacon? I've got some bacon left, thick, a chunk of bacon. I'm going to slice some bits off. I've got some eggs, and I've got some bread rolls. I'm thinking it's bacon and egg sandwiches as the main thing for tea tonight. In north of England we call it tea. Down south they'll call it dinner, or maybe abroad. I don't know. You tell me. What do you call the main meal of the evening? Technically it's dinner, but we call it tea. Some people call it supper. Eh, each to their own. I'm not going to argue. I'm not. I'm not Susie Dent. I don't define words. I just use the buggers. If you don't know who Susie Dent is, look it up. Susie space Dent. Does a podcast called Purple People. Fantastic. Susie Dent and Gyles Brandreth. Gyles Brandreth. Mm. They used to be on a program called Countdown, famous in Britain, very famous. First program on Channel 4 when it launched in 1982. I'm going to guess 1982. I don't know whether I'm even going to bother checking that. Early 80s, the pound coin came out, and then Channel 4 started, and Countdown, which it had kind of piloted on Yorkshire TV, which was where I lived at the time. I'm a Yorkshireman who moved across to Lancashire shortly thereafter, a few years later, while I was still at school. But it was called Calendar Countdown when it was in Yorkshire, and when it was on Channel 4, it's just called Countdown. Very famous program in Britain. Susie Dent became very famous from that program, and her colleague Gyles Brandreth. Don't ask me about the spelling or even how to say it. I haven't got any teeth. What do I know about how to say anything? I think that's probably the first time I've mentioned my teeth on the channel, is it? Probably. And I'm looking over here at my hand, and I should be looking over here at the camera. What do I know? I'm trying to look at me on screen. I'm new at this. Fuck off. If you'd prefer this to be a non-swearing kind of channel, it's probably tough shit. I don't swear a lot. When I swear kind of in conversation. I don't swear at people. I don't say you. I'm not that guy. I might swear about a situation, swear about something. I throw out the odd word. So if you're sat here with your grandchildren or something, this is maybe not the channel for you. I try and keep it generally civil, but when a word slips out, it slips out. Deal with it. If that means that you don't watch this at work, if that means you don't watch this when you've got the grandkids with you or the kids, sorry, I'm just that guy. I don't deliberately swear often. It's what comes out. It's very emotive, expressive language. I'm not against swear words. I try not to, like I just said, I don't swear at people. I mean, I would have to be really. I would have to be. I would probably be. I would have probably punched them already before I was swearing at them. That's happened. I am that guy. I'm a physical kind of person, tactile, sexual. Well, there's a whole other topic. Um, we'll cover that one day. Let's get a few more viewers, a few more subscribers, and once I can go live, once I get, I don't know, I had a look the other day at what the rules are for being able to go live to an audience. It's something like 1,000 subscribers and is it 4,000 hours of watched video, 4,000 viewing hours. I think so, not including shorts. Um, if we get there and they review the channel and allow me to go live, then I can respond to questions. You'll be able to chat questions live during a video, and we can cover all those questions you've got about, you know, who is this bloke? How did he end up here? Why is he still here? Why haven't his friends and family got him out of it? What the hell's going on? Itchy nose again. Mosquitoes in here earlier, I think. We can cover all that. It's not going to become Big Clive Live. We're not gonna go as far as he lets his chat go. Just a warning. Just a heads up. By the way, bigclive.com. Go watch his channel. The guy's headed for 1 million viewers. Superb, technical, electronics content. Electrical content. But explained for fairly normal people. Some technical stuff in there. But he does a good job of explaining. That's his bag. That's his thing. If if you like things a bit more risque, I think I've mentioned this in a chat before, in a video before. Big Clive Live, all one word. That's his other channel, his alternate channel. Saturday night, does a live show. He's gay. His audience are beyond gay. There are furries, if you know what that is. There are other, I'm going to say deviants. Guys, if you're of that persuasion or those persuade, I mean no offence. I just mean that you vary from the norm. You're, you know, you're out there. It's fun to listen to. I enjoy the crack. I'm not that way, or any of those ways. I'm not as technical as most of those guys. I like computers. I like technology. I made my living from technology. That's all I'm going to say at this stage about me and my. But love Clive. Love both of his channels. Highly recommend them. Go and have a look. See if it's for you. Um, God, I've been on 21 minutes already. I didn't intend this because that's going to make this a long. That's going to make today's video a long video if I upload it all as one big thing. So, to recap, tonight, bacon and egg butties. That's bacon and egg sandwiches with buns, bread buns, bacon and egg sandwiches, and hopefully a solution to the jacket potato and baked. Let me put that in English that is more universal. Baked potato. When you cook them in their skins with heat all around them. Baked potato and carrots. I had not yesterday but the day before. I'm gonna. If I don't finish it, they're gonna get fed to the dog as they are because they can't hang around any longer, can they? If I was trying to cook them before the night before last, and I didn't eat them yesterday or last night, they can't hang around too much longer. We're in Spain. It's warm out there. There's critters. I've had a battle with rodents. You know the ones. I've had they had a problem. Both the little ones and the bigger ones. Mickey and Roland. They both when I had the tarpaulin, they both little fuckers would run through the middle of the camp at night. I chase them with a knife and a lump of rebar in my hand, try to stab them and squash them. And then I got some traps and I caught a couple of them, and even that didn't put them off. But then about 3 weeks ago, something happened and they just disappeared. I've heard the occasional rustle in a bush from maybe a scouting party, but they haven't been back in force. They haven't bothered me. The traps are kind of outside unset, and if I have a need, I can arm them and bait them. Wait for the little buggers. But Michael Mouse and Roland Big Mouse, stay away, you little fuckers. I'm ready for you. Okay, blokes. Okay, folks. As a quick discussion of today, it's been far too fucking long. There's a swear word again. Sorry. We're on 24 minutes. It'll be dark in an hour and a half. I'll see you then for some cooking. Delta Mike out. 10 o'clock and 24 degrees. Okay. Where's the team? We're gonna go out and do some cooking and things shortly. Whoa, did you see the insects inside? I left the flap open. I didn't realise we'd had any actual visitors. Oops. Oh well. Okay guys, I got no idea how visible that is. 10:15 and it says 23 degrees. I can't read that on the screen, but maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I'm really not in the fucking mood for this, but we're gonna go out. I need to cook some food for me today. The plan at the minute is bacon and egg butties, and then I need to do something with those potatoes and carrots from a couple of nights ago. If I don't finish them, they'll either need putting in the dog or throwing. So that's where we're at. 10:15 Monday night. I think it was Monday. Yeah, look at that. I have to check what the day of the week is. As Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips would say, let's go! Okay guys, I think I might have just mentioned, really not in the mood for this tonight. Fire started, water's on. It's only been on for about 2 or 3 minutes, but it's burning well. I've prepped 3/4 of the teas and coffees. You're not going to be able to see a thing over there. Oh, apparently the camera's in the mode where I can't add a light. Yeah, no, that's good, isn't it? Can you see Tina? Can you bugger it? Alright, I'll end this one there and come back with a flash or with the light on. Delta Mike out. There's Tina leaving the scene of the crime. Don't know how well you can see her there. Probably not at all this time of night. Like I said, guys, I'm not in the fucking mood. This is just not my bag. Anyway, here we are. Water. Is that actual boil or it's close? I don't know if it's a real boil. I think it is. I think it was. Maybe a minute or two before I start recording. I'm gonna take that. Fuck. Look at that. What's a spoon doing on the floor there? Look. I don't know. I've got shit to do. We're gonna do bacon and egg sandwiches. Bacon and egg butties. Boiling water. Coffee. That's step one, yeah? Anything I do with a fire. Step one. Coffee. And always 3 there are. And sometimes 4. A cup. 2 covered cups. And a flask in this instance. The water is boiling or has boiled or is as close to boiling as matters. I don't know. It's closer than I care to argue about. It's got a little bit of soot floating in it because shit happens when you're cooking over a wood fire. So I'm gonna take that. That's done. Could take that. I'm going to not just accept that as a done deal. I'm going to. We're going to prep the next batch of wood. Okay, things are a little bit. That might be more intense than I would have ever. I don't know. For bacon and eggs, I don't think we need a red hot fire. I maybe just added more. I'm really not feeling this today, guys. I maybe just went more than I would have ever intended. I'm gonna go over there and pour some water into a bunch of cups. That should take about 2 minutes. Doesn't take long to pour water, does it? Let's face it. Even when you're not good at what you're doing, which is me, over this new area. Since well, part of this is the new pan. Oh fuck! Look, I should never. Don't put this thing down on the grass. That look. Can you see? I got grass sticking off the bottom of the pan. That's gonna want to come off into the drink. It doesn't pour well, this particular pan. Something about the curvature of the side of the pan. Once you take the water down the side and off to the back, and you can fight against it and lose half the water, or go with it and keep most, well, I say most. Once you're over halfway, you've got, but look, I've got so little water left and I've got a flask to fill. The flask isn't going to get its fair share. It's going to get some, but not. The flask is, fuck, I don't know, it's only been half and 2/3. I'm going to help it. I'm going to help a guy out a bit. Ouch. And there. Ouch! That burns like a bitch. Oh fuck. The main cup doesn't kind of have enough to spare. So we're kind of 3/4 filled on each one. It's, if I say it's less than ideal, you'll maybe understand that I'm understating. And that frying pan's been sat there now for, what, 2 minutes with nothing in it even. Not even oil. So you'll see that that's... everything's less than fucking ideal. When I'm having a bad day, or bad night, things just cascade. That's a bad night, this is a bad night, it's a bad night. Everything's a fucking bad night. Flask is wrapped, that's tight. Lids are on the coffees. I got my main coffee. Over here, let me throw the bacon in. I've got oil somewhere. I could go and get it, but let's assume for a second that the meat itself can do its what's the word? Beer. I got beer. The meat can't do its own beer, but I can. Let's assume the meat can do its own adipose, its own fat rendering. I said that was too hot a flame for what I was trying to achieve. I want to get that right. If I can render some fat off for after, that might be okay. For the eggs. But if it's so hot it just boils the fat away, yeah, that'll leave me with crispy bacon at least. Let me, here's the bread rolls. I don't really have a, see how little I've worked this out. That would have been the chopping board. That would have been the chopping board to use, but that's covered with shit, so I'm not going to get to use it. Look at the table, it's wet through. You know, a couple of nights ago I showed you moisture on the table. This is 10 times worse. That table is just wet. And here I am trying to open a bag of bread rolls to get 2 or 3. Here we go. If we're going to extract 2 or 3 or maybe 4, depends where you're going to go. I'm going to extract some bread rolls. I'm going to say 4. I'm going to guess at 4. Let's assume I'm greedy. Shall we? You like to assume I'm greedy. You've seen me. You've heard me tell you I used to be fat. I used to be 100 kilograms and now I'm 67. Or I was 67 at Christmas. I'm now plus or minus. I've got no idea. Oh, look at that little... You see the little snail on my plate? That's not good, is it? But this is the plate that I would use for that food if we actually get anywhere with that food. So That's good. I need to cut these in half in readiness. Haven't got enough hands, so excuse me. Okay guys, I'm not going to lie. It's been a challenging shoot. It's cooking now. I just had to change the wood or refuel the fire. The yolks have burst. It's all a bit of a mess. I mean, it'll be nice enough when it's on the bread and ready for eating. When I get that out of there, here's the plan. Charcoal into the chimney here. Get that up and burning. Then that's gonna go. The hot coals are gonna go into this pan here. Metal shelf over the top. Potatoes and carrots from the other night on there, and then this metal tray over the top. Kind of barbecue-ish. Very barbecue-ish, really. But considering that I started to cook those potatoes 2 nights ago, I can't leave them anymore. If they don't get finished tonight and eaten either tonight or in the morning, they're only fit for the dog, aren't they? So, here we are. This meal is for tonight. Bacon and egg butties, bacon egg sandwiches. Needs another couple of minutes just for me to, probably just to get in and slice it up and everything. I can't do everything one-handed. Leave it with me. I'll be back with you in 2 shakes. For better or for worse, that's the sandwiches. Those are the sandwiches I've made. That's bacon and egg butties on a frying pan. And over here, I've just shoveled a bunch of charcoal and some wood into the pot for the fire. Like I said, the burning embers are going to go in there. We're going to put the metal rack over the top. I'm going to try and close up that foil around the potatoes and what have you. Put that over the burning embers. Put this metal tray over the top. And then overnight, they cook or they don't, I don't care. A little bit past caring. Not a great evening, I don't know. I'm just not in the mood. If they cook, I got jacket potatoes in the morning and I got some cheese. That'd be nice, and some mayonnaise maybe. If they don't cook, I got a dog. You know? Whatever. Delta Mike out. Alright folks, there's very little to see here. I just want to show you what I'm about to do. I'm going to try and breathe some life into this fire. It's kind of falling over. It's just charcoal on a failed fire. Did you see? I don't know how well that... Where are you? I don't know how well that was on camera. I blew in it a bit, and what was a smoker turned into an actual fire. There's charcoal there, there's fire there. Oh, it fell over. In 2 or 3 minutes, the whole lot's going to go into this tray. Then I will put that metal shelf, whatever you want to call it, over, and then these potatoes and carrots will go over, and I will then just leave them alone for a couple of hours or overnight. I don't know what the score is. Yeah, they either cook or they don't, and anything that doesn't cook gets fed to the dog tomorrow. I haven't got... Look at the spikes that are coming off shouldn't be happening. This should... If the police were to be asking me, nothing like that can happen. No spikes can go anywhere because there's shit over the top. I don't want spikes flying out everywhere like that. If I is spurging everywhere like that, it's going to get me in trouble. Maybe set the tent on fire. I don't know. Well, that's not the kind of shit I want. That's not where we're at. So, a few minutes of letting these coals catch and burn down. Put them in the tray. Put the food over the. Put the grill over the top. Grill, grid, mesh, whatever you want to call it, over the top. Food on that, and a metal roof, a metal lid over the top, and that'll be me. That'll be us for tonight. I'm sorry about this, I just really haven't been in the mood tonight. I decided this needed doing. I was up for the bacon and egg sandwiches, which have been lovely, but the rest felt like a chore, to be honest, tonight. Wasn't something I wanted to do, but I'm aware that, you know, when you look at that, they're still raw, but when you start to cook or try to cook something 2 nights ago and it's still sat here, you kind of got to do something, don't you? You can't just, in my head at least, you can't just, I couldn't let them sit there like all week or anything. I mean, they've got a limited shelf life. Once you start to cook something, you got to have it the next day or the day after. I mean, no? That's my... Maybe that's just me. Don't know. I'm sure I'm right. I'm always right. I'm the most intelligent person I know. And that's just my modesty kicking in. You should hear what I tell myself when there's nobody listening. Okay, guys. Delta Mike out. Okay, guys. It's been somewhere between 20 minutes and half an hour. I'll take the lid off. I'm not... Oh, yeah, look. I think it's... You probably... Yeah, look at the carrots. Too much over too direct to heat. We've gone from one extreme to another. We go from no heat to too much heat. I'll try and keep them on the, put things back on top of the. Ouch, you fucker! Bugger. I don't know. Pick a word. It's not my word. It's a gamer word. The carrots are knackered. They've had too much. That potato's had too much. Everything that side's had too much. It's another fail of sorts, isn't it? I'll have a look in the morning. I'm just going to leave that for now. That's just leave them to kind of simmer over. It's going to be a low heat. Too hot for me, but low heat by the standards of fire. But it doesn't look good. That's not what I'm after out of life. I call that a fail. We'll confirm it in the morning, but to me, that's already, I mean, the state of those carrots, that's already too much. That's already a fail. Okay, guys. I don't think there's anything else here. There's things I need to take inside. the bread buns, the lights. Everything else it's a mess, but it can be tidied in the morning. Obviously I've got some videos to edit tonight. Edit. See if I can make this look good. Wish me luck. Delta Mike out.